boys and girls, kings and queens, my fabulous beloved fans and family. Welcome to another exciting episode of Lady Be Blessed Conversation. And today is a Monday, so it's all about my men. You know how I love the men. So today is Men Monday. So thank you guys for tuning in. Everyone that's already here, you know the drill. You want to speak to me? Leave a comment. You have a question? Leave a comment. Anything you want to do, participate, leave a comment. If you're on Facebook, hello and welcome. If you're on YouTube, hello and welcome. That is how you get in touch with me. As you know, I am your host, Lady Be Blessed, your African Caribbean Empress. And I'm broadcasting live, facebook.com/Lady Be Blessed, youtube.com/Lady Be Blessed. And today is Men Monday. Let's give it up for the men. I know I do a lot of women empowerment. Sometimes people are saying, oh, Lady B, you don't talk about the men. I said, oh, I love the men. I love the men. I will talk about the men. So I said, okay, let me give you guys Men Mondays. So Mondays are dedicated to my men. So all my men, you guys come log in. Let's sit down and we talk. Today I have a special young man for you guys. I was very impressed by all the things that this young guy is doing. He was in my one of my classes that I do for the SDGs, and very articulate, and he presents himself in such a nice and mature manner. I said, so I went to Facebook and I researched a little more, and I said, oh, he's doing a lot as far as advocacy for men is concerned, for mental health. And I said, wow, it's so inspiring to see young people taking up the torch and making a difference in society. And guess what, people? He's from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Caribbean. And if you don't get along with a Guyanese, the next best thing is a Trinidadian. I always big up my Trini brothers and sisters. And I think he's the third Trinidadian I've had on my show so far. So his name is Kareem Ryce. He's a mental health advocate. He is the vice president and mentor at James Greaves Intergenerational Achievement Association. It's a mouthful. Whose main focus and purpose is to address male underachievement in society. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. Hey, everyone that's logged in, I see you. Oh, the comments are already coming in. Wow. You guys are on it today. See, that's how my mans them do. Hello, Kareem Daniel Rice. How are you? I am not hearing you. Let's unmute your mic. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, can you hear me now?
There you go. We want to hear your accent now. Unmute that mic.
Definitely. You're hearing me now, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
All right, I'm happy to be here. Yes.
And I'm happy to have you. How's the weather in Trinidad?
It's really humid today.
So in other words, it's hot.
Yeah, very.
It's hot. Well, thank you for accepting the invitation, for being on my show today. And so we're up to 14 viewers. You guys are logging in. I hope you guys have a lot of questions. So tell us a little about yourself. Give me a little background. Who is Kareem Ryce? And why you just tell me about yourself. Tell me a little about your background.
Well, I'm an only child. I'm 28 years of age. I'll be 29 this year. I'm a parent. I'm an artist. I am a mentor. I'm an audio engineer. I'm a leader, and I believe in using my voice in order to bring awareness to issues that may affect me, but it may seem selfish if I focus on that self-love and specifically focus on the issue just because it affects me directly. But when I focus on issues that affect me directly, in turn it helps others who may be going through situations similar. So I'll be that type of guy who's always trying to fix or solve problems within his own life, and others end up benefiting from it. Um, I grew up in scouting. I was in marching band. I've traveled. Um, I've been engaged in, or involved in youth development for the past like 5 years or so, um, informally and formally. I have wow, a beautiful young lady and a handsome young man who I learned so much from. Um, Learn a lot about myself by looking at the way my kids operate. I'm a pragmatic person. I I really am very introspective. Um, I love reading, but I love listening audiobooks a little bit more these days. I'd say um, Kareem Rice is just a down to earth, humble guy who uh, last year was serving as a Global Peace Ambassador with the Global Peace Challenge 2020, and I have done a lot of amazing things and yet still remain humble within myself. Yeah.
Wow. That's wonderful. Tell me about the youth development program that you've been doing for the last 5 years.
Indirectly and directly, formally and informally. So I do a lot of volunteering from time to time, as in nobody asks me to do anything. Like sometimes I will just act on an impulse. I might, hey, there's something going on there, I'll go down. So there was an instance where I was doing some work in South Trinidad. Um, One of my colleagues, I call her my colleagues now, who's into natural medicine, she's a naturopathic. She was taking care of creating an avenue for the youth in her community who parents aren't around. So she was doing activities for them or encouraging them to do activities, and that would help them stay out of trouble. Um, so I had met that person at one of the meetings at the Jim Greaves Intergenerational Achievement Association, and I went down there and I checked out the spot, and what we were doing there at the time would have been I had access to a camera. We would have been doing some skits. We would have been doing some sporting activities, and I believe a martial artist was interacting with them at the point in time. So we would have been doing some acting and creating and just sharing stories um, in Gasparilla, Caratal Road, I believe. Yeah. So that's one aspect. And whilst working, because I used to work at a school at a point in time, right? And whilst working there, I began like just randomly volunteering with the drama club, participating in the school programs, and as I began gaining more connections, I was able to ask some of my colleagues or acquaintances or associates or what have you to come to the school and you know start programs or start activities or have something. So being a former student of that school, uh, it I felt inclined to like utilize my network in order to create avenues for the youth. And I think that things like that can still happen if they reach out, because I'm always looking at persons who pass through that same educational institution I have, and if I see an opportunity, they may get it before anybody else. So just showing that out there, and uh, yeah, sometimes I like if the scout group I was a part of, second report C scout group has anything, I'd volunteer, I'll go and perform because I'm also a hip hop artist as well, right? So
Really?
yeah,
Multi
I
talented.
thanks. I like writing rhymes, so yeah, I do that, I go and perform, and that's what I do. Last year, um, I did some volunteering, wrote some songs here and there, some audio engineering. Um, I believe in terms of, I don't know if I jump in the gun here, but I'm just like talking, right?
Feel free to
I
talk. It's all about you.
I I believe in like the power of words and me having the gift to write and like rhyme and all these different things, and also acquiring that skill to be able to record myself and figure out more or less how to release my music or mix it and master it and all these different things. I feel as though like that's I have a responsibility. Like and the platforms I have available to me now, I could definitely utilize my word and put it out there in a way that could be responsible and impact social change. You know, so I would have began doing that last year on a experimental stage that was successful whilst collaborating with a social entrepreneur organization in Trinidad and Tobago, and that was cool. And yeah, that's where I see my creativity and my advocacy and my youth development part taking me in. It's not just gonna be about bureaucracies, meeting, talk shop. It's gonna be about interviews, creating music opportunities, and influencing change, utilizing my brand. Yeah, that's what I see myself doing, and that's
Wow.
how it has been. Yeah.
Very ambitious, very ambitious. Like I said, I was very impressed by the work that you're doing, and that I noticed you're a youth ambassador. So tell me about that program. How did it come to be? How were you chosen to be the youth ambassador?
Oh, that global peace ambassador opportunity. I believe in like nothing just happens, right?
Right.
Everything
Yeah.
happens for a reason, so long as you're in alignment with the person you're supposed to be. And it's like I found out about the SDGs, right? Through collaborating with the social entrepreneur organization, right? And I did a search, just randomly did a search, SDGs, and came up on Facebook. Yeah, there's a SDG group, right? Click the link and you end up in the WhatsApp group chat. So I end up in the WhatsApp group chat, and a post was made in the group chat saying that there's gonna be a 3-day leadership conference, right? So I attended the 3-day leadership the conference last year. The only Trinidadian in the room, and there's persons from all over. And I believe Mr. Segan Solomon was one of the facilitators there. All right, who's I call him my brother from Africa. Right? He's a amazing human being. And first day went fine. I learned a lot. The second day went fine. And the third day of that leadership conference, there was a speaker by the name of um, Miss Liz or Miss Elizabeth Jean Gagnon from Canada, right? And she's sharing her testimony. She was the last speaker, sharing her testimony about mental health and what she suffered with and what she struggled with. And I'm sitting down here and I'm like, I feel as though she's talking to me. She's talking directly to me. And we were presented the opportunity to type a question or feedback or comment, but I type really slow, right? Even though I have this little key, this remote control to type, I type really slow. So I had to break the rules and unmute my mic and say I have something to say, but I type so slow. I, I have to say it. Said go ahead, and I said, well, what you shared with me there really touched me, and I've been living with a mental disorder or schizophrenia for the past 7 years, and you know, I feel as though like I supposed to meet you along my journey. I felt what she said, you know, she shared, and
Yeah. Yeah.
she told me reach out to her, and I spent the next 3 days looking for, you know, trying to find this woman. Then I got her contact information from Mr. Segon Solomon. Then I followed her on Instagram, and we began chatting, communicated for the, let's say, next week. For an entire week after I found her, we began chatting, and she said she's gonna um, get open a door for me, and um, opened me up to my yes cup, because persons like myself are or on many occasions socially excluded or ostracized or labeled as the black sheep or cast away into the abyss because hey, they suffer with a mental disorder. And
Right.
yeah, and they don't even look at the positive side of mental disorders, because persons with mental disorders and disability are special people and have
Right.
impacted the world in such a huge way. If it weren't for those persons, nothing would have changed. It would have been monotonous. So they look at the negative side, and she opened that door for me, and she introduced me to the project director of Global Peace Challenge 2020, Thomas Connors, or Mr. Tom Connors, right? And we spent the next 3 days trying to sort out my registration, my application. We weren't getting through, and we kept trying and trying, and we finally got through. And then yeah, I came on board um, at the beginning of the or quarter way through the planning stages of the global um, peace music event that we're having, and I made a contribution to the global music event. I did a song with some creators from Trinidad and Tobago. I end up doing some audio engineering in volunteering to ensure that some of the creatives who submitted their tracks, who donated their tracks to the Global Peace Music events in order to respond, I assisted. And that was coming from where I come from, having been to a drug rehabilitation center, having been warded at a psychiatric hospital, to, to be able to do music, speak to world leaders, um, make a change or give back, that's really amazing for me. That was really amazing for me, and it's an awesome experience to have gotten that chance to be amongst uh, a group of online peacemakers highlighting peaceful activities throughout the world, and also some of the activities that they are involved in for the greater good of humanity. That sounds like me in a nutshell, and it relates to some of those promises. Because I said I grew up in scouting, and it's like we took our oath or we made a promise or a pledge to do certain things. So it's like I feel I'm in alignment with the person that I'm supposed to be when I
Yes.
was invested many years ago. So that's amazing.
So it's
Yeah,
sort of like you found your purpose.
yeah,
It's an amazing
definitely.
feeling when you find your purpose because nothing, everything else in life makes sense. And you're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Definitely.
Tom has a comment. If you could see the comments, I put them on the screen. Could you see the comment? Look at.
Ah, yeah, let me see. Yes, Kareem is a contagious young man who is having a positive impact on the lives of many.
And he have
Yeah,
another comment he just added. You can see it.
yeah. So proud to have Kareem Daniel right as a piece of. Yes, I can say thank you a million, Tom. Yes,
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Tom, for the
you.
comments and everything. Everyone there. I do have some questions that we're going to put up later. We support based on you from your country, organization, or as an individual. What support based do you have from your country, organization, or individual? You can understand the question.
What support base do you have from your country, organization, and or individuals? Most of the things I do and I'm involved in, right? I do this out of my own pocket.
That's your
Yeah,
base. Your pocket is your base.
yeah.
Yeah,
It just makes sense investing in, yeah.
yeah.
If I had the opportunity to be like in making a lot of money, I donate 30% out of everything I had to any organization in the world. That's the
Right.
kind of person I am. Yeah.
What was the most challenging experience that you overcome along your journey? That's another question from the audience.
The most challenging experience that I had to overcome would have been recently. Recently, um, and well, it's Men Monday, and like men do have feelings as well, right? And
Aw, Kareem, we know
yeah,
men have feelings. Aw.
so I think that I had to overcome being in a extremely toxic relationship. That would have been my most challenging experience. You know, it's really tough, especially when you live with a mental disorder in a society that has no real space for men to share their thoughts without being, what's the term lawyers use? Um, badgered. Yes,
Right,
without
right.
being
Especially being a
badgered.
man.
Yeah, men
It's
are
very
badgered.
hard.
It's very difficult. So, like, it's it's not uh uh it's a society that strives for, and this is just my opinion on what I had to overcome, right? Our society, in my opinion, strives towards gender equality in
Hmm.
terms of the work world, but not in the world of being viewed as a human being with feelings and emotions. Because I'm sure that there
And
are a lot of
feelings a
men.
man.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are men who don't even like the work world, but they have to be able to go out into the work world and play that role or act that part, then check themselves at the door when they get back home and become somebody else for their family. Somebody who just takes off that entire jacket and their dad, or their
Right.
husband now.
So you
And
think a lot of
mhm,
society norm
mhm.
that men, it's normal that we have the man who is the breadwinner, the normal for the man to get up and go out to work. It's normal for the man to support the family. You think some of these norm that men have to conform to are causing mental health issues for men?
I think it's mental health issues they come from environmental factors, genetics or um, trauma, right? And if you don't deal with the trauma, because whilst in living, you're going to be encountering trauma no matter what, whether it be trauma from sport activity or a concussion or something that the persons who are in charge of the league or the team, the managers, are going to ensure that this player here who had that concussion goes and gets checked out so he could be functioning properly in the
Yes,
future for
yes,
future participation in our league or our games. Those players get that type of treatment, right? And that's entertainment or that's fun. People bet on that, right? That's not, even though it's a job, they have to ensure that these players are well
mentally
equipped.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, all mental faculties in order. So when a man goes out to work out in the real world, but it's not like that anymore, because COVID, men are not the number one breadwinner.
Right.
But I don't believe in that philosophy anyway, because I'm a Afrocentric type of guy, and I like looking at nature. And I've never, ever, ever seen the lion in the jungle or in the plains of Africa going and hunting. The only persons who do that is the lioness. So, so I don't have a issue in terms of men supposed to be the breadwinner. I don't feel my ego isn't slaughtered by that because I've never seen the male lion actually going on her. He comes to eat, right? And the
Right.
lioness does
Right.
what she has to do. So it's okay for women to do what they have to do. But the back to the point is that when a man experiences trauma and he's not given the opportunity to deal with that trauma, it just keeps building and building and building like one of those volcanoes in Hawaii, which is ready to erupt, or yeah, that's what happens. So that's like, yeah, really unfair. It's
It's yeah,
unfair.
the line is yeah, it you come. And even now, like when I look at the numbers, statistically wise, with domestic violence, there's an increase with the domestic violence against men in the last year because of the shutdown and the COVID pandemic. And they are saying that the numbers could be larger. It's as men are afraid to report when they're abused domestically in a relationship because it wouldn't be the manly thing to do. So that also leads to mental health issues. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay. You're so still. Like I don't know if you.
Some people always ask, they ask me about that because I can be
Oh, so that
still.
you do that. You just
Yeah,
still.
I can do that.
Uh,
Yeah.
we have a comment. Rice must have a good job and a good pay to support and finance all his activities. Unlike in my country, the Gambia. What do you say to that?
I'd say that I just invest my money where I need to invest my money, and it's not
Exactly.
necessarily about having a good job or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
about um, having the tools in order to get the job done for what you want to do.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So
so
sometimes your passion will take you further than money. I
definitely.
try to tell young people that I work with, your passion is your fuel, not money. As long as you fuel your passion, the money will come. So sometimes when you start a project, when people see your passion, they're willing to donate towards your passion. And sometimes people are not donating towards your cause. They're donating to the passion that you show for the cause. And they're like, oh
Hmm.
wow, this young guy is really doing this. Let me donate something. So sometimes we have to show our passion in order for it to materialize in a financial way. And then again, it's really never about the money when you find your passion. It's always about helping and making a difference. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
You
you sit so
mentioned
still. I don't know if you're frozen in the camera or what. It's just you guys.
you mentioned something a little while ago. It helps me listen when I sit still. Um, you said something a while ago about men not reporting domestic violence, and
Hmm.
I like to, based on the conversation that's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, and based on what I see when my daughter and my son visit me, because they don't live with me, they live with their mom. We have that that understanding. She's an amazing human being who's doing an awesome job with my children. They are so mannerly, and they are, you know, my kid's mama is doing an amazing job. And the communication we have now is just getting better and better as time goes by, right? So when my kids visit me, kids will be kids. They will have disagreement. Brothers and sisters will have disagreement. And then I look at the discussion um, about gender-based violence and all these different types of things, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow, I wonder if um, a brother and sister fighting could be classified as gender-based violence as well. But my daughter is older than my son, right? And I'm thinking, what I'm trying to teach them patience. So I observe um, uh, when a week and a half ago when they were here last, um, I cook, right? I live bachelor more or less. So I'm cooking. My daughter is extremely hungry. She's so hungry that she's unable to come and learn and help me in the kitchen at this point in time, right? So she's sitting, she's upset, she's getting angry that she's hungry, and my son is lying down on his stomach doing nothing. He's doing nothing and he's enjoying a show by himself. Yeah, he's doing nothing, and sometimes
She's
men do
upset that you're
nothing.
taking so long to cook.
Yeah, she's upset. But I had to tend to their needs during the day as well. So it's like she had to be patient because, I didn't need anything as well. So she leaves, waiting in the kitchen next to me, and goes into the bedroom and gaslights her brother.
Stop.
And yeah, and gaslights her brother, and they began fighting. And now men have a different approach for parenting or with parenting that women do. I have a different approach from most men, and I definitely have a different approach from the opposite sex. I like to observe, sit still or stay still and observe to see how it might play out, and then I'll correct after when you see what's wrong. So they fought, and I'm like, JCL, but you were just here. Your brother was there. He wasn't doing anything. He was watching TV. Why are you telling me he hit you? You know? And she's like, he hit me. But I said, here
How?
was
You're like,
going.
how?
Yeah, how? Because so she thought it was okay to go trigger or provoke her brother, hit the man, hit the guy, and they had this argument, and then she was playing the victim before my eyes. So, like, I'm a father, I seen past this nonsense. So I had to hold both of them by their jaw. I don't hit them anymore because it doesn't make sense. Let's
Right.
explain things. So they would have not got any licks in the Caribbean. We call it for like
Yeah.
3 years or so. Three
What?
3 years. Yeah. No need to do that when you start learning things like psychology, because I love
This
psychology.
is a new parenting. No
Y-
licks. No
No
box.
licks. So I just touched them by their chin and kind of put a gentle pressure and look them down into their soul and their eyes. And I said, JCL, this is your brother. You didn't make him. Don't ever raise your hand and hit your brother again. And I had to do the same for my son. You didn't make him, so you have a right to hit him.
Hmm.
And it's like she is always quick to hit her
That's
brother.
how she's gonna disturb her husband.
And that's wrong. That's wrong. And we as parents need to understand that,
Yes.
wow, the children are looking on and understand in some subconscious way these types of conversations having that is really empowering for the woman, but it could be placing men who do nothing and in harm's way.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it could
Yes.
trigger gender wars, and this whole entire thing is crazy. It's and I see it crazy from a perspective of somebody who has a mental disorder and could understand that fine line between something that is sane and something that is insane. You know? So like I tend to utilize what society is talking about and what my kids, the behaviors my children come into the home with, and try and run my own personal analysis based on my life experience to really understand what the conversations in the world or in my country is doing
Right.
to the next generation. And it's some, I don't know, we need more, in my opinion, more.
More need to come. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back, and then we're going to talk about a little more about mental health and the
Yeah.
organization that you are part of. So definitely we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Pop your questions in the comment section, either if you're on Facebook or YouTube. I see you guys watching, and your comments will come directly to us here in the studio. We shall return.
The Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation is a USA IRS registered 501c3 public charity. Our mission is to actively and effectively engage in promoting human and social welfare with no prejudice against human suffering on the grounds of gender, sexual orientation, religious, or national divisions. Our main goal is to save lives, relieve suffering, and maintain human dignity. Donate now to support our work. PayPal.me/TLBBH Foundation or Cash.app/$TLBBH Foundation. Come join Women Wednesdays with Lady B Bless, an empowering podcast spotlighting women in leadership. A weekly look at some amazing women leaders, mentors, role models, change makers, community advocates, presidents, CEOs, executive directors, and boss ladies. These women are women that lead. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live, facebook.com/Lady B Bless, youtube.com/Lady B Bless. Let us help you win in business. MXZT Digital Tech Solutions. We help small businesses get online with business class website builders, managed WordPress platforms, domain name registration, web hosting, hosted email, e-commerce, and online stored solutions. Our 24/7, 365 support is always available at mxztdigital.com. MXZT Digital Tech Solutions. We help small businesses. Visit us online today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time in the most important hour of hip-hop for the Ike Jackson Report Podcast. Available Sundays weekly and the Ike Jackson Report Podcast daily. Available weekdays for engaging, serious hip-hop political commentary. Available now on Anchor FM, Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon. Engage. Stream serious conversation. Stream the Ike Jackson Report Podcast now. Ike Jackson presents the Re-Up series. Re-Up, Re-Up 2, a prequel, and Re-Up 3, The Promised. Follow the incredible adventures of Simone, a single mother assassin trying to get out of the killing game. Will her daughter's life be enough to cash out? Download the Re-Up series novels, audiobooks, and screenplays now at barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, and digital outlets everywhere.
Call now 718-547-1910 for an appointment with George the Hip Hop Taxman. Only 50 appointments available on Hip Hop Tax Preparation Days, March 10th through April 15th. Use code DWI/Ike Jackson to get your tax preparation discount. Call 718-547-1910 now. No upfront money. No upfront money. No upfront money for those who qualify. For producers, artists, and indie labels to file.
Hi guys, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Men Mondays with Lady B Bless Conversation Series, and we're talking to a young man out of Trinidad and Tobago about mental health issues in men in the community, and being a man in a community that doesn't accept mental health for a man or even acknowledge it for men. His name is Kareem Ryce, very, very intelligent and articulate young man. So I'm going to go and bring him back, and then we can finish the conversation about mental health. Hi Kareem, welcome back.
Hi.
He's so still. Just sit still. Like, is he there? Is he frozen? I am enjoying the conversation with you. Let's just take the time to go to the audience and acknowledge some of the things that people are saying. Someone say you're very calm. You're the most calm. Great response or a question that you gave. You can read the comments, right? You're seeing them.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Someone said that they like that passion for the cause and making a difference. Oh, someone said you're very unique. Oh, very nice. And then we have this comment. Wow, that's a mouthful in all caps. Okay. My friend, the world doesn't care. No one cares. You have to do something about your life. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Try everything. Do things that you love the most, things that you're passionate about. Passion will be your backup generator. Oh, I like that. When all your energy is gone, don't dwell in blaming and complaining. You will end up living unfulfilled life.
That's true.
Thank you, Truman, for that comment. That's definitely thought-provoking, and it's definitely true. So mental health issues in men, mental health, it's not even my platform, right? It's not even something I think about. I'm one of those person that go through life like, mental health issues, what's that? Because it's not something that I experience, or now I think about it, or even know that it's my family, because it's not something that we acknowledge. Like, I'm Caribbean, right? And do we talk about mental health issues in the Caribbean? Not really. Even here in the
Yeah.
Black community, they don't talk about mental health issues.
It's a there's a stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made me aware of mental health issues was the pandemic last year, with a lot of people coming forward and said they're suffering from depression because they're shut down, or they're feeling just like they're all alone. You know, after once the pandemic started, a lot of people couldn't go out and they were isolated, and then a lot of the issue about mental health came up, and I keep seeing tag where it's like everyone was talking about mental health. And then I was like, oh, let me look into this. And the statistics are staggering. It's unbelievable that so many people are dealing daily with mental health issues, and the support groups were not there. The outlets was not there. Mental health is a taboo subject in the Caribbean. Yeah, it is. Because no one wants to think like, well, they used to say, oh, that's a crazy man or that's a madman. That's what we were saying, guy. Oh, that's a crazy man. But actually, the person may have mental health issues and just needs some help. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
you're part of an organization in the islands, Trinidad and Tobago, that provide help or resources for men in mental health issues. Is that what it does? It talks about male underachievement in society.
It's like coaching and mentoring. Coaching and mentoring they offer. It's like when I first began,
What's the
because
name of
I'm
the organization? Tell me about the name of the organization and what it stands for.
Jim Greaves Intergenerational Achievement Association. Um, it was founded by the late Jim Greaves. He passed away approximately a year and a half ago, or
Wow.
is it 2 years now? Yeah, but he died an old, fulfilled man. He was a genius, right? He too had his struggle um, where mental health is concerned. Now I'm schizophrenic, right? He was schizophrenic as well, and that would have more or less had me gravitating to learn about somebody. This man is a great man, and he has a mental health disorder, and it's similar to the one I have. It may be different um, ways it manifests within him than it does within in me, but I get to learn from the guy. He was like a walking encyclopedia, right? Um, Trained over 1,600 workers at Texaco um, uh, without wanting extra pay for doing it. Um, he was a playwright, a good storyteller. He trained like he was just an amazing guy, right? And I had the privilege of speaking to this wise old man, who had impacted the life of many different persons, all because he believed in mentoring, coaching. The philosophy is that instead of trying to cram or force education down on people, he had the philosophy of educing, as in drawing out from persons what they have within them already, right? Because you're born with all that you need. You're born with all that you need.
Mm.
All the universe or God or the creator gave you all your talents and gifts, and the more you know thyself or learn about you, you'll figure it out. So like the philosophy of the association um, tends to hang close to the initial idea that the founder Jim Greaves had, drawing out from persons what they have, and they'll pursue that with a passion and seek out the information for what they want to do with their lives. It's about encouraging persons to get to know themselves in such a way that they would know what they truly desire in this world and pursue it with a passion. So, in terms of the coaching and the mentoring aspect, you get the opportunity, or the post COVID, when we used to meet the third Saturday every month. It was like this um, mastermind tank of elders um, who would have their experience in various fields, um, and persons would have come and came and sat down and share their ideas, learn and go. And I just keep coming and coming and coming. Hence the reason I found myself on this executive as the second vice president, the youngest person in the on the executive. So I found myself just benefiting from the opportunities presented to me in terms of not financial opportunities, but the opportunity to do something with my life differently, learn, teach, guide, um, expand my knowledge, expand my network, be amongst persons who listen or try to listen and understand um, what you're saying. Um, so it's environment that helps you know you better in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So it's weird, but yeah. Mhm.
Wow. And oh, wow, that's amazing. And these are all older people talking about mental health issues in the community.
I wouldn't say that the organization deals specifically with mental health issues. Um, there are other issues. I would be more advocating more for mental health issues. I speak on my own accord. I won't be in some instances speaking on behalf of the organization. I'm a part of the organization, but
Right.
I'm also an individual who has dreams, aspirations, and passions of his own. But in the capacity of my position in the organization, what I would have been a part of in the past would have been some discussions um, uh, regarding there was an activity in particular that I mentioned briefly from time to time. The association would have been engaged in conversations with the University of the West Indies in St. Augustine, the head of the Agricultural Sciences faculty, in order to create an opportunity for the campus at the Presto Press. At the time, it was the last youth camp in Trinidad and Tobago run by Sir Alvin Fortuné. He was trying out of his own pocket on many occasions, trying to do things for the youth, and he was trying to have an agricultural program, a hydroponic program, and the association would have been engaged in some dialogue between the head of the agricultural sciences faculty in order to create or conceptualize a a program or a course that would equip the campus to then be able to create a equip or create a pathway for the campers who would be labeled as at-risk youths or troublemakers or outcasts to society, to create a pathway or avenue for them to be able to one day maybe perhaps attend a university and better themselves. And
Yes.
also,
Become better
uh,
members of society.
yeah, so I'm not sure what the bureaucracies was behind that, but I think that is no more. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. Um, I don't have all the details on that, so that would have
Hmm.
been one of the activities I would have been involved in terms of speaking from my youth perspective.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
So we have, yes, and people with mental health issues don't get the deserve, don't be treated as humans when in reality they're just like us humans. And then Tom chimed in. Thank you, Tom. You're absolutely right. I think that mental health is starting to get the attention it deserves in the U.S., especially during the pandemic. You're absolutely right, because at first it wasn't like a buzzword like it is today. There have been many news stories about mental health crisis in the last year. Correct, exactly. The school system in the U.S. have become very concerned about mental health impact and the COVID having on student and the young people. So, Kareem, when how old were you when you found out that you had schizophrenic?
At the age of 21.
Wow. So you went through all your teenage years not knowing that you had this issue. So how did it come about? How were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed. Um, it was brought out of me from marijuana induced psychosis.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, See, like I always do things differently, right? And the I became a dad at 19. I was in high school, so like my experiences in life was different from many of my friends. They got to, focus on, hey, I could go this party and I could like. I tried to go to the party and hang out with them, but I had more things that were bugging my mind that had me uneasy. So I was using marijuana to cope with the extra stresses that I had.
Hmm.
Lo and behold, there's a history of mental illness in my family, which is not really discussed. So I'm the guy in this generation who has a mental health disorder. So when I got diagnosed and I went to rehab, uh, I had several psychological breakdowns. I had one in rehab as well. And before, I could really thinking back as I learned more about mental health issues, some of the courses I enrolled in myself in, I could clearly see that I've always been this way in some way
So everything
or
makes sense. It's like certain things that you did in the past now made sense.
it makes sense to me. It really does. And so like at 21, being diagnosed at a mental health institution, um, yeah, the thing about a mental health institution is a person could go to jail, yeah, and the judge could knock that gavel and said, I sentence you to 5 years, 10 or 15 years. But you see, it's different for persons with mental health issues. When you go in, you never know when you're coming out. Because yeah, I could have been in
Cut.
there
You will come out when they feel you are ready.
exactly. And I think that experience is, I'm a very observative guy. I think that's one of the many blessings of being somebody who's an only child. You tend to really observe persons before you go and hang out with them. Right? That I lay back and I observe and analyze. So like whilst I was in St. Anne's, I had to plan my way out of there. I had to want to get better. I had to learn how to manage this in order to leave there. Because anytime you do something wrong inside of there, they have two pens. They have a red one and they have a blue one. Anytime when they
So you get a lot of red pens. I could just imagine
at first, yes, at first,
because you didn't know the system. You didn't know what you need to do. But once you learn the system, you know I need to get that blue pen.
yeah, because they observe you, and but I was observing them the same way because it was for the greater good of me, and I began writing poetry for the female nurses in there. Uh, yeah, it was I had an awful experience in there. I got in a fight with two nurses, two male nurses in there. It was really scary. I got locked in a cell, and inside of there, there's like ceiling fans. And it's an old building, so those ceiling fans are really old, right? And they just keep knocking all night. Like
Wow.
the ceiling fan just knocks all night, and like I got in a fight because I saw a guy with a ring, like he's a Taurus or something, and he was feeding me because I couldn't feed myself at a particular point in time, right? Because I was taking like risperidone and Cogentine. Now I don't take any medication anyway because I'm a more naturopathic guy now, and I feel like society could learn from persons with mental health disorders who have been living
Right.
with mental health disorders. So it comes like we have insight into how to manage this. The persons who offer medication I'm referring to more or less. So like yeah, I got in this fight in there and I was locked in a cell, got a shot, and I heard that those shots mess you up, the injection, and I didn't even know. I sat down and I just fell backwards. I woke up, the gate was open. I'm laughing at it now, but when I was going through those things, it was like hell. And
Serious.
yeah, definitely it was. It definitely was. But coming out of that experience, I felt like really, really light. And that would have been one of the times in my life where I would have felt suicidal because, like, I felt so light. I felt like I could have just jumped off the second story of the rehab building because I
Wow.
had to go back to rehab after coming out of St. Anne's to finish my program at New Life Ministries Drug Rehabilitation Center. Like I've been through a lot of different things, and I was asked a question earlier on in the interview. What was the most awful experience that I ever went through?
Hmm.
That relationship I was in was more hell for me as a man living with mental health challenges than going to rehab, than
Wow.
going to St. Anne's. All of that put together was nothing like that relationship that I was in. That was literal hell here
I
on
think
earth.
we get the
And yeah,
point. Quick.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
So after
Mm,
coming out, you're dedicated to helping people or bringing awareness, using your experience to bring
mhm,
awareness to mental health issues.
mhm.
21, so you're like 29 now. So that's a couple years. And so congratulations. So no medication,
No, tea.
just
My food is my medicine.
your
My food
food,
is my medicine.
everything is natural.
Yeah,
So you
I'm vegan by the way.
and yeah, I was about to ask that because I know a lot of people that go through certain experience, they say a lot of it happens to be in the food that you eat, the processed food and everything. So they change their lifestyle as far as their eating is concerned. I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
Q&A. If anyone has any questions, please pop it in the comment questions. We'll have Q&A for the next 5 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So you guys have any questions, kick it in there. Put it in there. So give us. I'm sure you would like to spread your message worldwide. So give
Mhm.
us some information. If anyone wants to get in contact with you, how would they get in contact with you?
Um. Well, on Facebook, I'm Kareem Rice, KareemRyce. On Instagram, it would be um Kareem Daniel Rice 01. Um, Kareem. My Gmail account. Well, my Gmail email address Kareem Rice 313 at gmail.com. I'm excited still. Um, yeah,
That was
I'm
an
excited.
exciting
I'm really,
story.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, really excited.
I'm excited to
I think,
have you, definitely. And you're in my SDG group. That's where I found it, and I really like your input in that group. It's one of the smallest class I've ever had with the SDG because normally I do it on WhatsApp, and this is the first time I'm trying it on Telegram. So I feel that
mhm,
on WhatsApp it was a little more interactive. I guess because people are just used to WhatsApp and they're not used to the Telegram. But I like the Telegram because even if you come in late, all the information is still there for you as far as the SDGs.
mhm.
So, with the SDGs, which one is your favorite? Which one do you advocate most for?
Well, based on my journey right now,
Yeah.
I think at this point in my journey, it would be SDG 3. Well-being. That well-being aspect, that health and well-being aspect really aligns with me. Um, and see, all of the SDGs are interconnected, right? And
Yes.
based on my in the person who I am, I think um, 17 will resonate with me the
I'm
most.
just going to put them up. You're going to see, I just put them
Yeah.
up on the screen so people can see what the SDGs are. 17 goals put in place by the United Nations so we can have a better world by 2030. And you see, he mentioned number 3, which is good health and wellness, and 17 partnership for
Mhm.
the goals. Go ahead, Kareem.
Definitely, yeah. 17 partnership for the goal because You see, everything is interconnected, right? And number one, no poverty. Like a lot of mental health challenges come from persons not having any finances.
They hungry.
That, yeah, definitely. And number two, food. Like that's it's that plays a key role in me being able to manage my my mind, because like you need to intake the right nutrients, in order to do things. And it's like me, even just doing one search on the SDG changed my life. Right?
Yeah.
So like being a part of your class where I have access to more insight on it, it really helps along the way in some of the conversations, because like you'd be surprised how many persons do not know about it, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I try to bring awareness. I've graduated over 800 students since I discovered the SEG in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've graduated over 800 students, and I have ambassadors. So once you pass the SDG class, you go through it, and then you take your certificate. Then you could become an SDG ambassador for my foundation. So we have 189 ambassadors worldwide, from all the way from Indonesia, all the way Africa, the Caribbean, all over, that are implementing the goal. What did Truman say? SDG number 3. Yes, my favorite SDG is 1, 2, and 13. So yeah, everyone has their favorite. You don't really have to advocate for all of them. Yeah, we're going to advocate for the goals, but then a lot of people like cherry picking their favorite goals that they could advocate for, because we're not superhumans. We can't do all. I'm going to do all the goals, but sometimes people are passionate. Like I'm passionate about number 5, which is gender equality for the girls. And also I'm
Mm-hmm.
passionate about number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. That gets
Mm-hmm.
to me. This clean water issue irritates me. It
Mm-hmm.
irritates me to the 10th power that water is free in the earth, and there's so many people that does not have access to it. And even now we are paying for water, like it's free. It's something free, like air. Like one day, are we going to pay for air? So SCG number 6 is you think about it, right? You have to go buy oxygen, like come pay for your air. Like you never thought that one day you would pay for water. It's so irritating to me, some things. And the single use straws are irritating, like single use things. After I learned the SCG, a lot of things that we do as human became very irritating. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
why are we doing this? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
nonsense. But my dear, I've really, really, really enjoyed having you here. Any last thoughts you have before we wrap it up?
Sure. One of the turning points in my life is when I began soul searching, and it started with searching the meaning of my names. Right, my name is Kareem Daniel Rice. Right, Kareem is Arabic. It's not to be confounded with Al Karim, which is one of the 99 names of Allah. Right, which means generous or the generous, but Karim means generous. Daniel, Hebrew, it means God is my judge, and Daniel was a writer. Right, and Rice, English, Anglo-Saxon, which means powerful. So I began, learning my 3 names, the meaning of it, and the power behind it. And that really helped me on my journey. And maybe I could help you as well in your soul searching. Whoever you are out there looking at this video right now. Yeah.
There you have it. Powerful,
Yeah.
intellectual, articulate young man. I thank you so much. First of all, thank you for what you're doing, because a lot of people don't have the courage. A lot of men, though they are very courageous, don't have the courage to tackle or even say live to the world, "Hey, I'm schizophrenic. Hey, I have got this mental order, disorder. Hey, I've been in an institute where I was locked up, and now I'm using my experience to further the message. I'm using my voice. You're becoming a voice of the voiceless. which is a lot of young people are not taking up that challenge. So I'm very, very happy to spotlight you today and the work that you are doing. And I just want you to continue doing it. I'm here for support, especially with the SDGs. It's my baby and my favorite. Thank you, everyone in the comments and everyone watching this. I love you all. I hope that we could get together again in the comment section. Thank you, Joe. Truman is my PR. He's doing a good job. Let me big up my PR out of Zimbabwe. Thank you, Truman. You see, I love to encourage the young people. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. I want to commend you on that, and all the other people that you're bringing into your circle, so you know you could tackle these mental issues. And you're free to come back anytime on Men Monday. If you want your own show, Mental Health Monday, let me know. We'll hook that up for you. I think you could get your own show. I think it's something you can handle.
Well,
People say
anything is
that was
possible.
amazing. Yes. Anything is possible. But your words, your story. Les Brown is my mentor. And Les Brown say, always tell your story. Because even if you're in a room with 1,000 people and one person benefit from your story, your job has been done. So all the people that's listening and here today with us, if one person benefit or you change one person's life, your job is done. You see? So it's definitely keep telling your story and keep encouraging the young people, especially the young men. You know, keep encouraging them. Let them come forward. Let them talk about their issues. Let them talk about things that's going on inside their heads. You know, definitely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. I really enjoyed having you. And that's it. Men Monday. I hope you guys had a good time. Bye. Saranara, terrific interview. Thank you. We're going to bow now. Bow out.
You're an amazing host. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's what I do. When I do what I do. You guys, you can listen later on. Let me put up the link. You guys can listen later on to this show. Actually, you can get in touch with me. I am Lady B Bless, your African Caribbean Empress, and this is my information scrolling now at the bottom of the room. I am LadyBbless.com. I am LadyBblesspodcast.com. I am Lady B Bless on all social media platforms. Lady B Bless Facebook, Lady B Bless YouTube and Instagram. And check this podcast is available on all podcast channel, all of them. So even if you say, hey Siri's, play Lady B Bless, you're gonna get me. I don't know about Alexa yet. She's a little difficult sometimes, but definitely Siri's will comply. And on that note, I am out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to know, I want to speak to my ladies. This is the start of CSW. The Commission of the Status of Women at the United Nations started today. It's going to run until the 22nd. This is event and organization and projects from all over the world dealing with women issues as far as rural women, girl child, women empowerment, and girl child development. If you're not a member of the member state organization of the United Nations, United Women, you could still attend these events. If you're interested in attending these events, just send me an email, ladybbless@gmail.com. You can send me on Facebook. I am Lady B Bless. You can hit me on WhatsApp, 980-522-8522, and I'll be able to give you a link so you could attend these events and be part of the Commission on Status of Women that's going on for the next 2 weeks at the United Nations. I will be speaking at an event pertaining to women empowerment and domestic violence in the workplace against women and girls, March 18th at 10 a.m. on Africa Hope Committee's page, sponsored by 1000 African Women Network, which I am a member. So I will be hosting that event, and it's a side event for CSW, Commission on the Status of Women. Definitely have to give thanks to 1000 African Women Network and African Hope Committee So hopefully you guys will log in, send me a message. I will upload all the details and you guys could join me. That's my next one, Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Normally we'll be at the United Nations, but as you know, it's viral. All right, people, I am out of here. It's definitely a pleasure to always be with you guys every Wednesday, every Monday through Friday, right here on www.facebook.com/I am Lady B Blessed. Bye.